Next question. Tiny wanted to know what would be a good kill order. I'll get to how to beat Chase actually here in a second, Alexandre. The kill order for some of the meta teams. So this is a fun question, and it's going to be highly subjective. So if anybody disagrees with me on this, it's cool. I don't expect everyone to agree with the kill order that I choose for these teams. Please note that my perception on this is going to be different because I'm using the Zeta Qui-Gon Jinn, Zeta Yoda, General Kenobi, Anakin, Ezra team. So if you're running something totally different than that, you might be able to attack this in a different way. So this is basically what I've decided, or what I've taken notes on, would be my order. So the first meta team I thought of, and I don't want to, I know there's 1,000 different combinations. So don't hit me with a bazillion different combinations here. I'm just going to do this generally. You can probably replace a couple tunes in here and kind of get the same concept. But first I thought of was Rex, Chase, Nihilus, and General Kenobi. Now the problem with this team is General Kenobi is going to taunt you too much. As soon as you hit Rex, he's going to taunt. As soon as you use an AoE, he's going to taunt. I mean, there's just too much that is going to block you from being able to hit who you need to hit to get some momentum. One of the keys is going to be for you to get General Kenobi out first. Unless you can find a way that I haven't found to, maybe if you've got Boba or something, to manage that taunt more effectively, you're just going to need to bite the bullet and off him as soon as possible. Then Rex is going to go fast. I would say Rex would easily come after that, and then Nihilus. Now the exception to this, obviously I'm saving Chase for last. I hear a lot of people say that if you can kill Chirrut first, you want to kill Chirrut first. I completely agree with that. If you can kill Chirrut first. I personally cannot kill Chirrut first. I always lose when I try to kill Chirrut first with the team that I've got. So I personally leave Chase for last every time because I just it's just not worth it. The only scenario when I will go for Chase personally before I've off the other three is if I've been able to somehow get his protection down to nothing, and he's just at full health, and I've got Zeta Nihilus going, who's landed a health down on him. It's 20% health reduction. And I've got General Kenobi's mass assist handy, and he's able to do it right away. Then I will consider going for Chase or Chirrut first. Now, I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of ifs in that statement. A lot has to go right for you to hit Chirrut first. So in my opinion, it's just not worth risking. I think you're going to need to go a different route personally. Another meta team I found, maybe not as meta, but definitely a real pain in the butt to go against is Nihilus. Nihilus with Sith Trooper, Sith Assassin, Dooku, and then maybe a Palp or a Sidious. That team sucks. Sith Trooper in particular under that Nihilus lead, especially if the Nihilus has the Zeta leader ability, which grants 150 health steal, 150% health steal to his team, then all of those counters, Sith Trooper is super, super tanky, and otherwise known as the Nihilus Dooku squad. Sith Trooper is super tanky, and he doesn't even have protection. It's just all put onto one health bar, and he's just going to knock himself right back to 100% every time he counters you. So I try, when I'm going against this team, and again, this is me, I try to avoid Sith Trooper as long as I can because I just am not able to make enough progress on him. The exception to that is if you are able somehow to land, if you can't avoid him, if you're finding you can't avoid him, but you can find a way to land a healing immunity on him, then you might be able to go for Sith Trooper sooner. But anyway, I would recommend avoiding Sith Trooper, going for either that Palp Palp first if he's there, and then Sith Assassin if that stealth isn't there. Sith Assassin is pretty squishy, really. That's why the stealth makes her tough. But if the stealth isn't there, you can take her out in a few hits. I would say Nihilus follows that, then Sith Trooper, and then I save Dooku for last. The reason I save Dooku for last is because he counters, he stuns, he sucks. And if you try to go for him too soon, he's going to wreck your whole game plan. Again, just my opinion. That's what I do. And I am able to beat that team now, thankfully, with General Kenobi. The next meta team, Zal, Chase, Nihilus, and some other Sith thrown in there, usually maybe a Dooku or a Sidious or a Palp. I hate that team. This is probably the team I struggle the most with. And the reason why is because I want to save Chase for last. But when Zal is there, and it's 3 Sith with Zal leader and Chase, your only option is usually to hit Chase to start with. And that blows. So what I do in this situation, and I'm just going to be upfront with you, that team is usually a losing battle for me. If I'm going to fight Chase, I'm targeting, I'm not going to target the Zal Chase team. I'm going to target the Rex Chase team. That team's just easier for me to beat. But what I would recommend doing, if you have to hit Chirrut or Baze, I would recommend trying to get Chirrut's protection down to nothing. And then you've just got his health left. Hopefully, before you get there, you're going to have some of that stealth removed from either Nihilus or Palpatine or Maul, hopefully. If that happens, if Maul's stealth is gone soon enough, I would say attack Maul first as soon as you can. He usually doesn't take super long to off. So that's where I would go. I go Maul, and then I would go Nihilus. I would go the other Sith, and then save Chase for last if you can. If you can't, if you've got a big enough attack, try to take Chirrut out if you have a big enough attack, or if you can land a buff immunity on Baze. I would say that's going to be harder to pull off. You need more to fall your way, but that's what I would recommend. Now that's a mindset of I'm running the Jedi, and so there might be a different strategy that works well if you're running a different composition, but that's what I have to do. And the last one is my combo, which is Zeta Qui-Gon Jinn, Zeta Yoda, General Kenobi, Anakin, and then a 5th Jedi, sometimes Ezra, sometimes Ahsoka. Sometimes people will throw Darth Nihilus in there. I do sometimes, but only on offense. That kind of team. And before anybody says this team doesn't deserve to be in this conversation, I'm hitting number 1 with this team. So I'm going to say it counts as in the meta conversation, and that the Jedi meta has kind of arrived. I don't even want to see what you guys are saying right now. So the first tune you're going to hit on this is Yoda. You're probably going to have to deal with a General Kenobi taunt, but if you're running the right team, hopefully you can dispel it and take out Yoda pretty quickly. You want to get rid of that tenacity up. You want to get rid of that the foresight up. If he's a Zeta, and he's pretty squishy, frankly, he's not too hard to take out. So I hit Yoda first, and then I'll go for Qui-Gon Jinn or Ahsoka or Ezra. If Ezra is there, I frankly go for Ezra second. He's not as hard to take out once you got his protection taken care of, and he actually can do pretty dang good damage on his own. So you're going to want to get rid of him. Then I save both General Kenobi and Anakin for last. They're the tankiest. They can definitely deal solid damage, but usually I'm able to, with the team I run, I'm easily able to save them for last. All right. Some people might disagree. That's fine. That's just what I found.